Right, welcome back, and let me again welcome our distinguished guest, Her Excellency Ambassador Jilan Allam, former Assistant Foreign Minister. And again, thank you for being with us.
Pleasure again.
So Egypt's unwavering support for the Palestinian cause, and this has been the diplomacy and the policy of Egypt since the whole issue started in 1948.
Yes.
It's not new, but what we are seeing today is new. You're reading through the whole scene.
We are entering a new phase of geopolitical change in the area. Never has the Middle East, and particularly the Arab world in it, faced so many internal conflicts in its countries or between its countries. And then there was this kind of, let us say, stop, put on the back burner of the Palestinian cause for quite a few years. And the hope that got started to think about, well, let's have a Palestinian state, and what do we do about it, how we negotiate about it, how do we reach there, has been kind of restrained all along. All along, whenever there was a step forward, there were quite a few back. And I think that also Israel has built up some kind of a common posture that talk as much as you want of the two-state solution. We are here sitting and waiting how things develop. And I think this led to some kind of a disappointment and loss of hope and some kind of a frustration, a national frustration within the political community, Palestinian community, and they don't see the future coming up with something they would like to see, and it did it, and this is basically why we had other regional players interfere in that issue, and they have their proxies who are working on that. So basically, you had in Lebanon, which was hit economically very strongly. We had Hezbollah there. You have Hamas in Gaza, and then you have also the Palestinian Authority in the West Bank, who cannot communicate. They are not able to find common grounds to work together with. So basically, we have two groups of Palestinians, and the Israelis played on that, actually. So now, with this small incident and this incident and attempt of Hamas, yes.
It seems that we have urgent news.
Please.
And Hamas just announced that it will release two of the hostages, the two American hostages. Getting back to what we were saying.
Well, so what happened from Hamas there just put the Israeli on alert, and it is it was very strange to hear over the last 17 days since the Hamas action that so many leaders in the Israeli strata say, we failed. I mean, I heard these two words so many times, and I think it does explain why we see this kind of a very violent affecting the scenery that now in Israel. I mean, why do we need 17 days?
Consecutive 17 days to hit an enclave like Gaza.
An enclave like Gaza. Why were they insisting on displacement of at least all of the northern part of the Gaza Strip?
Sending leaflets. The military have been dropping leaflets on the Palestinians, telling them to go to the south.
Why? I mean, I keep asking this question. Did it really? I mean, did it really needed to have two of the largest air carriers from the United States, the USS Gerald and the USS Eisenhower, to come to the Eastern Mediterranean, and then a third one, the USS Carney, to sit in Bab el-Mandab. Why? I mean, Israel always prided itself with having.
This is a very important point you spoke about right now. You raised you pinpointed your finger on a very important issue. What does the U.S. sending such carriers to the region mean, and how can we translate this into the action of Israel? I mean, does this reflect a go ahead or a green light to Israel to continue or to carry out with more escalation from the United States?
It's open support. It's open support because also they provided them with an anti-missile guided, an anti-missile system that is very, very, very strong. Though always Israel prided itself of having
the Iron Dome.
The Iron Dome. So if the Iron Dome was enough to secure Israel, why do we need another anti-missile system? And over and above, why the deployment of soldiers? I mean, there are ready to go soldiers. I mean, today itself, the defense minister of the United States, the defense secretary of the United States, said that we have, I mean, ready to go, ready to deploy soldiers, ready to go and work, I mean, on the ground. And then they have already deployed 2,000 military outfits because they say that they will give, should the war happen, they will give medical support and logistics support. 2,000 body of soldiers.
Special forces.
So it's I mean it's a very strange. And then the other odd issue is that while the West, so to speak, that's the United States and Europe, always speak to us about human rights and respect for
advocate for human rights and principles and
advocate for that, and actually go to imposing sanctions on countries who they feel are not respecting human rights, then what is happening, what we are seeing on television, on open media now, happening is that all under self-defense, the right to self-defense? Yes, the right to self-defense is there. But when you are an occupying force, this it has another definition. It has another context. There are a different setup, modus operandi, setup of rules that have to apply. So we are talking here about an occupying force, about the original people of the land being dismissed from their homes. I mean, these people just go with their kids and hardly anything to, and they leave their homes, their past, their histories, everything. So it, again, do we need to review the concept of human rights and how it is impaired? So here we start talking about double standards. Are Ukrainians better than Palestinians? Why? Why is it? Why does Europe take this position? I think they have to have a review, a conscious review.
And the question is, are Ukrainians better than the Arabs? Because we're not speaking just about Palestinians. We're also speaking about Israel hitting other areas like in Syria and Lebanon. Definitely it is hardly hitting the Gaza Strip and other areas. If we say they are hitting Hamas to revenge, then why hitting the West Bank and Jerusalem, for an instant? Anyway, it's exactly what you said, Your Excellency, here. It's the double standards vision towards or vis-a-vis Ukraine and the Arabs. If I may ask you here, reiterating your words, this double standard, and we have seen unequivocal support from not just the United States, but also Europe.
Yes.
Now, how do you view that?
I think the relationship with Israel has a history. I mean, it's a part of the history of Europe, and they feel they have the duty to support this small country in a not very friendly environment. And I think they have been always advocating that regardless of the Palestinian issue, that there must be some kind of a normalization of relationship. But again now, the double standards. Now, in the last few months, or in the last year, let us say, we have seen a good number of Arab countries normalizing relations with Israel. And nothing happened as far as the Palestinian issue was concerned. Though all the Arab countries that speak, they tell you we support the Palestinian issue, we support the Palestinian cause, and the very strange remark that one can have to make, that while Israel is hitting so hard the Palestinian population that is there, the President of the United States says, we believe in the two-state solution and we think that we cannot do without it. And all of the European countries that support Israel say, yes, we support them for the right of self-defense, and we support the establishment, and the only solution that is viable and open is supporting the two-state solution, having a Palestinian state. Even, I mean, the representative of the European Union for Foreign Affairs mentioned that today. He
and the President of the European Council as well.
Yes. So if this is the view, why are we not telling Israel, take a deep breath, stop it now? I mean, it's been 17 days, 2.5 weeks. And I don't think that, humanly speaking, this is really, I mean, people in Europe should, having open media now, I mean, should really review the way they look at other humans and the way they look at that particular cause. And I hope, I really hope, that they stand by the word and their promise that the Palestinian issue has no solution but the establishment of a state for the Palestinians.
So we really need to translate words into true deeds.
Well, we have to do that. And let me I mean also give you just, you know, a few markers. In the Gaza Strip, you have 2.3 million Palestinians living on 365 square kilometers. That's very dense. On the left bank, on the West Bank, you have 3.3 million Palestinians. That makes it 5.6 or 7 million Palestinians. How many are the Israelis in Israel? More or less 6 million or 6 million plus. So this is an issue that we have to bear in mind. And from this 5.6 million Palestinians, 37% are below the age of 15. That's more than 1/3 of the population, which means that their parents are another 30 or 40%. So I think statistics are very indicative here, and I think this has to be taken into account, and we have to start working very hard on so many levels and on so many issues.
Actually, they are putting this into account, or else why are they hitting hard? Anyway, that brings us to the Egyptian efforts. But before I go into the Egyptian efforts, let me take this report. And Egypt's Red Crescent, Decent Life Foundation, and the National Alliance for Civil Development Work support humanitarian aid trucks into Gaza. And we've seen since yesterday the entrance of some of the trucks into the Gaza Strip. Let's watch.